So we're out in West Texas right now to continue my journey of getting my first whitetail buck with a crossbow. And it all started out in Oklahoma. I mean, I got a great deer in Kentucky with my compound bow, and as we transition over to Oklahoma, it's like, man, I've never gotten one with a crossbow, so let's go ahead and give that a shot. Man, the crossbow, it's such a versatile platform, and especially that 10-point, it's so compact, it's really easy to load. What really blew me away was the accuracy right out of the box. That crossbow, I was dialed 100%, especially when I got it doped all the way in, and I was just driving tacks after that.
Scott is shooting the all-new 10-point TX28 crossbow, compact, cutting edge, and capable of delivery at 410 feet per second. 10-point also offers a complete line of arrows, broadheads, and accessories. If you caught our last episode, you saw Wade take a big Oklahoma buck with his 10-point TX 440, outfitted with a Garmin Zero Pro crossbow sight.
With the model I'm shooting, honestly, I can shoot further and more accurately. I'll have more energy to be able to deliver to the target. It's got some awesome lighted nocks in the lineup of arrows that fit for it. The energy that it's going to provide in that 20 to 35 yard distance is just phenomenal.
With Wade's buck down and recovered, we'll get back to the lodge at Outfit, Oklahoma and catch up with Yamaha's Scott Newby as he readies for another day in the field.
Well, I really have to say I was extremely excited to find out that we're hunting new grounds out here in Oklahoma. And this was definitely a hot one. As the week went on, it also felt like you're just standing out in front of a hairdryer and just hot wind blowing at you, hot air blowing at you. But you know, the biggest thing that I had when I was in the stand is just try not to sweat too much. You always try to keep that scent down as much as you possibly can, cover it up as much as you can, but you know, just trying to stay cool and not overthink it and just have a good time and stay still and be as calm as you can for when those deer do come out.
With thousands of acres sandwiched between fields of oats and soybeans along the Cimarron River, the Outfit Oklahoma has a variety of blinds and stands to accommodate both rifle and archery hunters. In the early season, they hunt the evenings, so by late afternoon, Scott is at the stand and in position.
A lot of the stands I've gone to so far, they're just so cool to where it seems like there's kind of like a creek that they're always kind of surrounded by, and even on our first night for our first hunt, we could hear the deer crossing over the Cimarron River, which is just a really high salinity, kind of like almost a washout. But that's where they bedded down during the day, and they came right out to where a spot it was that we were hunting. And then the second night, we went out in the spot too, where we was hunting over a soybean field, and we had the Turkey Creek right next to us. And oddly enough, had about 20, 30 turkeys that came out. So needless to say, that spot did live up to his name when it came to Turkey Creek.
There's plenty of game in this part of the state, and aside from the whitetail, Outfit Oklahoma offers a variety of hunts, including turkey and waterfowl. But with the abnormally hot weather and a full moon looming, this hunt just ran out of time.
Had a lot of sits out in Oklahoma. Nothing ever was able to put together. Wade got a great buck on opening night. I had a potential opportunity where a good buck came out, but oddly enough, a little raccoon pushed him and scared him away, and never really saw anything decent after that. But I knew at least I had Texas to look forward to.
Coming up next, we're headed south. In the meantime, we invite you to visit 10pointcrossbows.com and check out the latest in crossbow technology. After the Oklahoma hunt, we've moved on down to Texas. Even though it's early November, summer has refused to relinquish her grip, and as we head into the field, we've got temps in the mid-90s and not a breath of wind in sight.
So we're out in West Texas right now to continue my journey of getting my first whitetail buck with a crossbow. And after, I think it was about an hour or two, saw some giant aoudad come in. I think the biggest rams I've ever seen out here in Texas, and a whole bunch of smaller ewes and everything too. And it was really fun to watch them just milling all about. Cool thing though is that there were these two rams that they were just fighting each other the entire time. When you see those guys banging heads with dust coming off and hooking horns, and just knowing the sheer exertion and energy that they're putting off the entire time. But when you're watching that for 2 hours, it's exciting to see, but every time they smack their heads together, I'm also thinking, there's no way there's any deer coming in here. So once again, climbed back down, got to the RMAX 21000 to head back to camp, figure out our plans for the afternoon. So for this whole crossbow whitetail hunt journey, going from Oklahoma even to Texas, I was hunting out of the 2025 RMAX 21000. Just for me and just one other guy with me. We had the bed rack in the back, we had the Yamaha genuine bed extender too, and so I knew that there was gonna be plenty of room. The great thing is, if you got more than 2 people, you got 3 or 4 passengers, we have our all-new RMAX 41000 that's essentially an RMAX 21000 stretch. You still got the full dump bed, and you have a full-size rear cabin as well. So if you have more than 2 occupants, you still have plenty of space for all your gear, as well as 2 more people. But in this instance, when there's me and the camera guy, didn't need that much space, so we just loaded everything up and hunted out of the RMAX 21000. One of the cool things about our RMAX 1000s that I really love to talk about is the versatility of them. And the cool thing about this trip is we got to showcase just that. Wade had a couple of projects he needed to get done, between moving this big box blind, even cutting down trees and hauling that stuff out of the way there too, that was the perfect task to be able to put the RMAX 41000 platform to use.
All new for 2025, the Wolverine RMAX 41000 combines next-level capability in style and performance. The 999cc liquid-cooled engine, combined with Yamaha's terrain-tackling chassis and the on-command 4-wheel drive system, means that the RMAX 41000 is a go-anywhere, do-anything workhorse. Build and price the model for your exact needs at YamahaMotorsports.com. Now, before heading out for the afternoon hunt, we need to top off the feeders. Serious hunting demands serious nutrition, and on this lease, Record Rack's complete line of nutritional supplements not only complements the native food supply, but also helps to promote superior antler growth and body condition. Learn more about Record Rack's complete line of products at recordrack.com.
Alrighty, we are headed to a spot called Honey Hole, and gonna see what comes out on us tonight. We've got box blind. I mean, the tough part is it's really hot right now. We're going out pretty early just to make sure we get in there before anything else does, and sneak in there all stealthy like. But there's been a lot of good deer in that area, so I'm really excited to get out there. And I know there's always a lot that goes through that area. Temperatures are a little toasty, like I said, but wind's gonna be picking up, so hopefully that also works in our favor, and we will see. But definitely excited to get out, see if I can finally get a good buck out and can get him with the crossbow. For the afternoon hunt, before when I was talking to Wade on where he thought we should go, he told me we were going to the Honey Hole, which secretly I got really excited about, because leading up to the hunt, I was able to look on the trail cams and see, like, man, there are a lot of good deer back there. So our first hit at the Honey Hole, it was hot. It was extremely hot. I think it was almost 100 that day, and even when we got into the box blind, a little bit of water ended up getting in the box blind, but right when I opened up that door, it was just, I mean, I almost got knocked over by the heat that came out of there. It was brutally hot, and we're sitting in there and just baking the entire time. And we were supposed to have a steady wind that picked up that was gonna cool us off and at least, you know, work in our favor, but instead it did the exact opposite, where there's no wind whatsoever. We're just sitting there baking inside.
Once settled, it was a long minute before Scott and his cameraman saw anything move.
There were some does that came through that night, and even a decent little 11 point. It was a beautiful buck, no question about it. I mean, he got my heart going. He got me just racing, and an 8 point that, the 8 point had a bigger body to him, never really gave me a good shot, but he really wasn't anything that I was kind of looking for in a sense. And that 11 point too, I mean, he was a great deer. I felt like a little too young, and you know, to at least just let him sit for the night. But I also know there's bigger deer in the area, so not that I'm trying to be selective, you know, and wait this guy out, because I know a lot of times you're window shopping, it doesn't work in your favor. But also, if I had a few hunts left, hey, there's an opportunity, there's a chance that he could come through here at any moment now.
The fate of the rest of the evening was decided when this big female red deer, the European cousin of the North American elk, wandered in, pushing everything else out. But in spite of the interruption, it was pretty much determined that with the abundance of quality bucks in the area, we'd be back in the same spot come tomorrow.
Kind of have some sweet dreams about what I'm going to be seeing here tomorrow, and excited. So we're going to jump in the RMAX 2000, get headed back to camp, and wait until we can come back here and try them again in the morning.
Build your Yamaha ATV or side-by-side, or customize your ride in real time with genuine Yamaha parts and accessories at YamahaMotorsports.com. If you're interested, Yamaha Motorsports also offers a wide array of video on demand. Whether you want to catch up on the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries or one of Yamaha's original series like Beyond the Gate, look them up at YamahaMotorsports.com. we'll rejoin Yamaha's Scott Newby as he prepares to head out for day 3.
Talking to Wade, he was asking me what I want to do in the afternoon. I was just taking a gamble and thinking, let's just go back to the honey hole, do everything we can to get in there early, get settled, and I think we left camp about 3 o'clock, got there at 3:30, and I was really surprised. I thought we were going to be sitting there for a really long time and nothing was going to come out until like 5 or 5:30. But lo and behold, it was about 4 o'clock. I mean, only about 30 minutes after we got settled, there were already some deer that were coming in, this one little spike and even a little button head that, they were milling about for the longest time. And that just got me excited right away. It got me thinking, okay, if deer are already coming out, we didn't push them, we didn't spook them, that they're still gonna be coming out, and eventually the bigger ones will start filtering in. So we watched those deer forever, and lo and behold, that 11 point comes out. And it's just the craziest thing after that, one of the most amazing hunts I've had in a really long time. And it's funny because I'm sitting there getting well positioned on that 11 point. He was right out in the perfect spot and just waiting for him to turn the right position. And all of a sudden he looks off in the woods. I was like, oh man, what's going on here? And then something spooks him. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, maybe it's the big buck, but also I guarantee it's that darn red stag again, because she was just pushing everything out of the way. And I thought, man, well, there goes that 11 point. He's not coming in. I even saw him leave off in the woods off to our left, crossing over the field. But no joke, the big buck walks in on me. So since he came to our right and went immediately to our left through the woods, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, he's gonna get set up, he's gonna start eating that corn, and so I'm gonna get repositioned to where I'll have the perfect shot to be able to be ready and comfortable right when he walks out. But he never comes out. So I'm thinking, oh man, there's no way. I hope that guy didn't walk out in the woods. I hope he didn't walk out in the field. Now he's not coming back. I don't know. I mean, there's still a lot of food sources out there on the ground, so you don't know if he's gonna go off and eat acorns or who knows what. So we're watching every last little thing. Like we could see legs at one point. It's like, oh man, that's a doe. And where is he? And I see this big tree shaking. Like that's gotta be him. Slowly but surely, he starts walking his way right out in front of me into the lane. And so we all get repositioned, I get settled, and he's like still right in the bushes, but he's just eating off the ground, taking his time. I mean, even at one point, there are 2 does that came in. And then he just takes that one step. He's standing broadside. I mean, perfect scenario. And I just squeeze the shot off right away. I see the bolt go right through, and it kind of like bounces on the ground, but he takes off right in the woods. Wow. That is one of the most exciting hunts I've had. So we're sitting here, I'm shaking so bad. That's one of the biggest deer I've seen in the field in a while. So we're sitting here, does and small bucks just milling around for the longest time. And then, see what time it is, 5:30.
Coming up, with one down, it's time to call in the reinforcements. We're in southwestern Texas near Bracketville and in the field with Yamaha's Scott Newby. Just before the break, Scott made a great shot with his 10-point crossbow.
All right,
Now the waiting game on a big buck like that, like, oh my goodness. So we ended up texting the group that arrow's been flung, looks like it's good. It's a little weird the way that it looked like it went through, but I think that, you know, we're good to give it time and at least have those guys come help us and track this deer. So we hear them start to coming in, and we're gathering up our stuff, going to climb down to the blind. Next thing I know, Kevin's hit me, pigs, pigs, pigs. Oh, look out, there's a bunch of pigs just came in out of nowhere. It's like, my goodness, what the heck just happened?
Okay, which one? Quick. Yeah, go. You can do it, you can do it. You got one? I got that big one. Dude. Oh, I get him? You smoked him. Oh, dude.
I totally just guessed.
You smoked him.
I totally just guessed. That's hilarious. But man, you saw that bolt go and heard that smack, and you know, you had a good hit on that pig. There's another blood trail that's going off in the woods. Gentry and Wade come in, it's like, you got him, didn't you? Like, I could hear it hitting, and sure enough, hit the pig. Well, may have a pig too.
Yeah. He smoked him.
Yeah. It was funny because like they're right here, we're about to come out, and Kevin's like, pigs, pigs, pigs. So it's like trying to load it up real quick, and then they're right there, saw you over here, so it's like, ah, shoot, and, you know, was about to pull out. Then they ran over to the end of the lane there. So it's like, Kevin's like, just try to shoot. I'm like, I don't know the distance. I was just like, yeah, it's about 50. Kick.
He smoked him. I mean, it was right in his shoulder.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we went back, like, I recorded with my phone the little picture view. Well, it was like, here, I can show it to you. It almost looks like it hits the opposite shoulder. So I showed Wade the footage of the slow motion that I did on my cell phone, because the last thing I want to do is still go in there too early, especially with that bolt kind of flying out a little funky. I want to make sure that he was reading it, he was understanding it the same way that I was, and he looked, he saw like, oh yeah, I think we're good, let's go ahead and start.
Right in that crease.
Yeah, and there's definitely a bunch of blood that I can see.
Where was he standing?
Where?
Yeah.
20 yards out.
Let's go this way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he looked smoked.
Right, yeah.
See it real quick. Yeah, I mean, that's paint there. That's bolting lungs.
We saw the first blood sign. You saw blood to the right, you saw blood to the left. It's a full pass through, and even everything on the arrow, it looked like it was lung. It's like, okay, yeah, we're good, let's start tracking this buck. So I ended up grabbing a couple of Cyclops lights, and we're going through, man, just good blood left and right. Didn't really take much to figure out where he was going to next, and I just remember pushing through this one brush. I mean, it sounds like it's a movie, you know, you're pushing through one brush, and then you're shooting the Cyclops out, and you can see him laying there, big old antlers. It's like, oh my goodness, this happened. Oh, there he is. There he is, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I was like, he can't be much further away.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Holy smokes. Ooh.
That's a dandy, buddy.
Huge, yeah.
Great shot, Scott.
Whew.
Holy cow.
Oh, golly, look at that guy. Oh, man. Whew.
That is a stud.
Huge, yeah. Man, it all came together, and we could finally celebrate that I have my first whitetail down with a crossbow. I got a giant buck out here in Texas, and I can celebrate with everyone. It's just like, oh man, just something that I can't put into words because it was so exciting to see.
And that'll do it for another episode of the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. If you've got any questions about this hunt or the gear used, reach out to us at whitetail@carecotv.com. Keep up with the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries on social media. We're pretty easy to find. And for the very best in crossbow technology, visit 10pointcrossbows.com.